Shit, boy, RP on the track.
Yo, what's going on, big family? It's your dog, the Ultra Melanite, coming to you live and direct once again from Charleston, South Carolina, aka the Holy City, you dig? I know it's been a while. Hope everybody doing good. But today we want to discuss the legality of marijuana and how it affects us as a community. For us, this is a real big topic. We spend a lot of time watching politics, the things going on, national emergency, government shutdown, building the wall, and all of that. But how does all of that really affect us as a community when we're broken as a people? And we got to understand the factors of why we are broken as a people. Now, the message in this video today is not condoning any drug use. We know we're not promoting anything that may be bad or may be affecting your health in a negative way. But what we talking about is the right of your oppressor to separate us from our families for something as simple as marijuana, something as simple as smoking, which we as indigenous Americans have been doing since the beginning of time. Pretty much we've been making pipes. One of the biggest symbols of the American indigenous culture is the peace pipe, right? Now, I understand that they may have not been smoking marijuana in that peace pipe. They may have been smoking other herbs or tobaccos or whatnot, because nature provides every place on the planet with certain things to provide sustenance for them. So even if marijuana is not indigenous to the Americas, tobacco's was. You dig what I'm saying? And in these indigenous forms, they pretty much the same type of thing. Now, and I know that people didn't generally smoke or inhale smoke back in the day. As far as we know, they burned a lot of these things as incenses, right? But we want to talk about the legality of separating a person from their family for something as simple as smoking marijuana. So we like to deal with words right here at the village. Let's go ahead and dig into the word marijuana, right? The word itself, as you should know, is a Latin word, marijuana. You dig? That's a Latin word. So before the mid 1900s, the word wasn't used in America. The word in America that was used was hemp or cannabis, and it was legal. You dig? People made money. It was a cash crop. People made money off of cannabis, off of hemp sativa back in the day, back before the 1930s, 1940s. So the word marijuana, as it evolved into the word marijuana, the word Mary simply means woman. If we go look at it, the word Mary means woman, right? Or as it progressed, it turned into flower. So the word Mary means flower. And then Wana comes from us Southern indigenous voodoo type culture, comes from the word juju, which has something to do with, a spiritual vibration, put you into a spiritual mind state. It was something that referred to as in these religious type ceremonies, or however you want to refer to that situation. So the word marijuana simply translates into juju flower, the flower of juju. And then the word juju also can be simply defined as energy. Good juju, bad juju. Good energy, bad energy. You dig? So this is another word that we can use to replace that word juju with marijuana. We can say energy flower, right? And y'all can trip and say it wrong all you want, but when we look at the word marigold is a flower too, right? What does the word marigold mean? It means gold flower, marigold, gold flower, gold lady, gold woman, whatever you want to call it. You dig? Because words don't define us, we define words. I got to say that over and over again. But there was a reason why they transferred the word from the word cannabis in America or hemp in America to the word marijuana, because they had to make it an ethnic word. They had to make it a word that applied to the ethnicity of certain peoples, right? Because if you continue to use the word hemp, the feeling or the vibration with that word hemp was already a good vibration. If they wanted to continue using the word cannabis, the vibration with that word was already a good vibration. So they had to bring out this new word marijuana and give it a bad vibration. And it was attached to, at a certain point, Mexican immigrants coming over here. You dig? Because between the early 1900s, like a million of them million of the Mexican Spaniards type people started to migrate to America legally, and they brought with them their culture of still smoking. Now, the culture of smoking marijuana in America had already been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, since the colonizers got here, since before they got here, we were smoking the peace pipes and whatnot, and so on and so forth. In the mid 1930s, the United States passed the United States Marijuana Act, Tax Act, all right, which put a tax on marijuana and essentially made it illegal, you think? So then we know that that was unconstitutional, and these people like to say, well, you know, they Americans and they go for their constitution, right? But what happens when their constitution doesn't work for them? They change the constitution. So you had a group of people who fought that Marijuana Tax Act, and in 1969 they won. It was deemed unconstitutional. Now it took over 30 years for them boys to say, yeah, this is an unconstitutional law, right? So what they did after that is they passed the Controlled Substance Act of 1970. So right when that first Marijuana Tax Act became, was deemed unconstitutional, what they did is they just passed another act that they deemed to be constitutional, was called the Controlled Substance Act, right? Excuse me, y'all. Now they labeled marijuana as a Schedule 1 narcotic controlled substance. And I don't know if y'all know what that is, so I gonna tell you. A Schedule 1 narcotic is the most dangerous type of narcotic there is. It has no accepted medical use at all, right? So things in that category would be things like heroin, man. So you got marijuana in the same category as heroin, right? That's crazy. Now, cocaine, we know how addictive, we know how destructive cocaine is. Cocaine is a Schedule 2 drug, right? Cocaine is a Schedule 2 drug, so they got marijuana ranked higher on the scale than cocaine. They got marijuana ranked higher on the scale than fentanyl, hydrocodone, methamphetamines. So they telling you that marijuana is a more destructive of a drug than methamphetamines. Have you ever seen a person on meth? What communities do meth affect? Right? Meth affects most of these non-so-called black communities. Cocaine was a recent effect in the so-called black communities. The only thing we did is we smoked the peace pipe. We smoked a little bit of marijuana. We not condoning on this channel any type of drug use. You dig? We asking the question of why is marijuana a Schedule 1 drug when cocaine is a Schedule 2 drug. Methamphetamines are a Schedule 2 drug. Fentanyl, Schedule 2. Come on, man, something ain't right about that. So, in our opinion, the reason why these drugs remain Schedule 1 drugs is to hurt the so-called indigenous communities in America. That's a means for them to legally remove you from your household. You dig? Now, we sit out and we run it in poll line and we go vote. We go vote for this guy or this guy. And the local elections are more important than these federal elections, these nationwide elections. But we go out and we go vote and we go support these people. We go to church on Sunday and we go to our job every day. All the while, They removing our children and our fathers and our mothers from our community for something as simple as marijuana. Now, whether you smoke marijuana or whether you don't, that's a personal thing, right? I've given you a scenario. What if a mother is riding down the street and she smokes marijuana? She gets stopped by the cops. Is it okay for law enforcement to remove this mother from her children because she smokes weed? What community is being affected by that? Because we know that so-called black people are stopped or looked at by the cops at a much, much higher rate than any other community. Most of your so-called white communities don't have police sitting on every corner stopping random teens that come into the neighborhood. We know that that goes on in our community. I see it firsthand. You dig? I ain't care what nobody else got to say. I see it firsthand. And what's the biggest thing they use to start searching and harassing and escalating situations within our community? Oh, I smell marijuana. We can put videos up. You can go search YouTube and you can see all of these cops. They say about the same thing. Have you been smoking marijuana today? Who cares? What that got to do with anything, sir? Did the person break the law? And for us at the village, we don't feel like anybody should be taken away from their family for something that is non-violent in nature. Something that is only destructive to yourself. You dig? You should not be able to be separated from your family for that thing. And that's the purpose of this video, to push the legalization of marijuana. Do you understand how much stronger our community would be if we stop letting these people separate us from our family for non-violent offenses, right? Really, we should be able to police ourselves and govern ourselves. You think? But since we obviously can't do that right now, we got to take steps and take the initiatives to protect our children in the future. Hopefully our children will become strong enough to police themselves before these people destroy the planet and destroy us as a people, because that's what's going on right now. Not physically, mentally, we being destroyed as a people. You dig? Like I said, the purpose of this video has nothing to do with promoting marijuana usage or anything illegal. We're not promoting anything that can remove you from your family or anything that would promote bad health or unhealthiness. But we know our people have been smoking for thousands of years. It's within our culture. It wasn't really a European thing. They didn't have the tobaccos and stuff like that. Now we know the Indians had it, the Africans had different smokes. We know that they've been making pipes for thousands of years. Indigenous cultures around the world smoke different herbs and things and such. You dig? So we gotta understand that the whole progression, the whole reason why we call marijuana is so that these people could demonize it. That's why they keep changing the names of things. If you research history, you see how a lot of things go from being called one thing to being called another thing. But the word simply means energy flower, juju flower, just like marigold. Marigold means gold flower. We love words right here at the village, so that's how we break everything down. Most of y'all probably never even thought about what the word marijuana means or why we call it that. Why do they call it weed? Well, because it grows together so thick and so tall and so dense that it smothers out all other weeds to the point that it itself became labeled as a weed. Hemp itself became labeled as a weed. You dig? Come on, man. Nobody should be separated for their family for something as simple as smoking marijuana. And this is something that we need to jump on. You see how big they is on these immigration laws? You see how all of them gung-ho and they behind, yeah, look, yeah, let's go build a wall. Why we can't be gung-ho like that about getting our people from behind them walls, right? So that's the new initiative for 2019. Let's get these people, let's get our family members, our brothers and our sisters, our cousins and our friends, let's get them out of that court system. Let's fight like they fighting for what they believe in. Let's fight for what we believe in. Understand how much stronger our community will be once we start being removed from our families for something as simple as smoking. All right? Let's get to the point where we can police ourselves. Let's get rid of the violence out of our neighborhood. Let's learn to love one another. You dig? And we think that, legalizing marijuana can help all of that. It'll help cut down crime in so many ways. Because first of all, the crime is inflated. We know that so-called black people are incarcerated at rates higher than any other people on the planet Earth. We incarcerated at a higher rate than them people in Russia or than people in China. All right? So what we got to do is figure out why we being incarcerated at those rates. Because the police are stopping us randomly for stuff like marijuana. It's illegal, so that we can't go out and properly use it or distribute it or whatever we want to do, because we free people. Whatever we want to do, we can't do it legally. So it's all considered black market at that point, right? So now that leaves room for people like the robbers and the murderers to come and take what you got. Because if they come and rob you and there's a bag of weed on the ground, the police is now considering this activity drug related, right? Never mind the fact that the root of all of this is the money. Never mind the fact that the root of all of this is the money is considered drug related. How can marijuana be illegal, but firearms, guns, weapons of destruction are legal in most of the 50 states? To some extent, weapons that kill people are legal in the 50 states, but a plant, marijuana, is illegal. What kind of logic is that? And I ain't trying to tell you that guns should be illegal. We should all have the right to protect ourselves. What I'm telling you is that if guns are legal, marijuana should be legal. You dig? Not unless we all just a bunch of retards. You dig? And we can't use logic to separate what's going on out there. Marijuana is a Schedule I drug, so that our brothers and sisters can be incarcerated over some stupid BS. So that they can walk up to your house and say, we got the right to search your house because we think that you've been smoking marijuana. So our push for right now is to free our people. Let our people go. You dig? 2019, baby. Let our people go. Legalize marijuana on a federal scale. If you don't want to legalize it, decriminalize it. Don't take our people to jail for it. Write them a ticket. I don't care about that. Until we can progress and get above that, I don't care about that. Stop taking our people to jail for it. You feel me? But I want to know what y'all think about this subject in the comments. Make sure to keep in mind that marijuana is on the same schedule as heroin. Marijuana is on a higher schedule than cocaine, than fentanyl, than codeine, than methamphetamines. Marijuana is considered a more dangerous drug than methamphetamines. It's considered to be just as dangerous as heroin. That don't make no sense. It only makes sense if that is being used to incarcerate a group of people. If you take away the drug convictions, the drug incarcerations, we incarcerated at a rate just as high as them people. I ain't telling you that we ain't got crime in the so-called black community. It's a lot of crime. What I'm telling you is if you get rid of the drug convictions, they would have no means to lock up 90% of our people. Because most people are not violent. You dig? People might do stupid things every now and then. Kids might get in fights. Things might happen out there. But once we legalize these drugs and people can legally go about their life, then these crimes in the community will no longer be drug related. There would be no difference than robbing the man who cut grass to make his money. will no longer be drug related. You dig? Alcohol is legal. Cigarettes legal. Guns legal. The things that they use in the day-to-day life is legal. The things that we may use in the day-to-day life, nah, homie, it's illegal. And I ain't condoning the use of all of that, but what I telling you is that's something that my people use. That's something that vibrates and resonates with my people. And not all of us smoke weed. You dig? But there's a lot of us that do. And we should not be separated from our families for that. It's time to fight for what you think right. 2019, baby. Them boy, they're fighting over a wall that they ain't gonna do nothing but take your tax dollars and make them people feel good while they sitting at home. They ain't got to worry about the Mexican invasion. We got to worry about the police locking people up for marijuana, and we sitting down watching TV acting like everything all good, fine and dandy, going to run to the poll and vote. You tell your city councilman, you dig? Tell your city councilman if they ain't fighting to keep your people out of jail, then we got to get rid of them. You dig? They got to go. I know this is a real deep subject, so, keep it in your mind. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below about this situation. Now, this is what I consider racism. I don't consider the white boy calling me a nigga to be racist. You dig? That's prejudice. That's tribalism. He can call me wherever he want to because he can't handle these things right, John. Right? What I consider to be racist is the institution. It's the system that we in. It's this form of white magic, because that's what it is, the pen and the paper. Right? That's what I consider to be racist. The fact that we can't get ahead because we being incarcerated and pushed into a system. That's what I consider to be racist. I can care less who like us or who don't like us or call us what name or whatnot. That don't matter to us in the jungle. We don't care because we know ain't nobody stronger than us. We know ain't nobody more capable than us. We know ain't nobody got our rhythm. We feel that. Right where I from, we don't worry about that kind of stuff. We worry about having to deal with these people on an institutionalized level over our land, over trying to get our land back. That's racism, you dig? Over us going to jail for these non-violent crimes, that's racism, you dig? Over these laws being written that keep us from attaining these things that we need, that's racism. I can care less who like me or who don't like me. You dig what I say? Tribalism. There's a lot of people I don't like either because I tribal in myself. I ain't racist. You dig? But I ain't gonna keep rambling on. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below about this marijuana. Legalizing it right now in this year 2019. We need to get it legalized. Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know what y'all think we can do to go about getting that done. Peace out, Ultramelonite 2019, baby.